So this is a 2013 Audi A8 L. L denotes it's a longer wheelbase addition over the standard A8. Creates quite a bit more legroom actually in the overall interior of this car. Easily one of the most luxurious cars I've ever tested. This one prices in right around $115,000, but it starts in the mid 80s. And we'll go into why this is more expensive in a second. Opening up the truck, you can see there's ample room here. There's a cargo net there as well to help stabilize your load, and you got a little bit cargo spaces on each side of the trunk too. Of course, there's the electric trunk button. So this car has the executive seating package, which adds quite a bit more money onto the price of this car. But you can see that each passenger back here has their own individual control for climate, audio. There's wireless headsets and everything else. There's even a little portable desk here that pops up out of the middle console there that you can see. One of the nice features that a lot of people like to pamper themselves with back here is the rear seat massage, and there's the control for that. So definitely, if you're in the right seat, I mean, you're definitely getting pampered in this car. There is the DVD system back here as well, so you can watch a movie. Individual SD card slots, so you can pop in your own media card if you want. And there is a built-in refrigerator back here that will keep some beverages cool for you. And you'll see here at the bottom of that there is the buttons here to adjust how cold you want to keep that refrigerator. So it tucks away nice and neatly. Would never even know it's there. Moving on here to the VIP seat of this car. This side of the car does feature an electric buttons that will actually tilt your screen for you, and that seat in front of you will also fold down completely flat for a footrest. There's the headphones there that I mentioned earlier. Going into the front passenger section of this car, you can see we have a pretty good view of the middle console command unit is what I'm calling it here, and this uses Audi's famous 4-button and knob control mechanism to control the pop-up screen that pops up out of the dash. You can also put away that screen if it annoys you after a while. Takes a little bit to get used to, but I'd say less than maybe a day after driving this car, you get it down pretty pat, and it actually is pretty intuitive the way they got it set up here. So this one is the menu for the overall ride quality of the car, and as you can see, there's dynamic, auto, comfort, and then you can set individual aspects of the suspension and the ride and the steering and everything else. So they do give you a lot of control that way. I would say overall this car is a really good balance of ride, comfort, and performance. Of course, it's got the V8 in there with the twin turbochargers, and it does 0 to 60 in about 4.2 seconds according to Car and Driver. I really like the way the gauges look. They're easy to read. In the middle of those gauges, there is an electronic night vision camera on this car. Love the stitched leather. Everything about this car just oozes elegance and refinement. And I think Audi probably has some of the best interiors I've ever seen in any car, so kudos to them on that. As you can see here, there's the dual climate system. Let's go into the navigation here. There is a really cool feature that Audi incorporates. As you can see here, there's a little touchpad, and if you don't want to go through and find each letter individually with a knob, you can actually just use your hand gesture and make the letter, and it'll automatically recognize that as well. It's a different way of inputting. There's the shifter there for the 8-speed automatic transmission, and it also has paddle shifters as well if you want a little bit more sporty feel. Not so sure that's required, because I thought the transmission was really good in this car. Good shift points. Never seemed to really ever have to hunt for the for the right gear or anything. As you can see, there's the privacy screen rollback here for the sunroof. This one does have the panoramic roof rather, so the rear passengers actually have their own glass rooftop as well. That one does not open, however, in terms of the glass compartment, but you can, of course, open the privacy shade. Getting into the navigation system of this car, Audi, of course, has partnered with Google a while ago, and they use the Google Earth Maps for your onboard navigation. There's the little button to tuck away the screen if you want. I really do love the Google navigation. I think it's the best implementation for any nav that I've ever seen in any car. Very intuitive, very easy to use, and it looks great. So, of course, you got plenty of storage. There's cup holders there. There's some in the door. There's the Bang & Olufsen tweeters popping up out of the dash when you start the car. And here's that night vision camera that I told you about. We can see what this car looks like here in the night with the dash lights lit up. Looks pretty snazzy. Overall, a great car. Highly recommended if you're ever in the premium luxury sedan price element. Again, this car starts in the mid 80s, but I just think, you know, Audi's done such a fabulous job. And when you compare this car against its competition, between the S-Class Mercedes, even some of the AMG packages out there, or BMW, or even Lexus, I think that when you look at performance, value, comfort, features, everything, I think they've just dialed it right in. I love the way this car looks at night. It just comes to life, even more so than during the day. I think that all the way that everything is lit up is just brilliant on this car. So really good job. Highly recommended this car if you are at all in the market, like I said earlier, for this kind of a luxury sedan. Highly recommend you get out and book a test drive at your local dealer. I think that you'll find when you compare it to other vehicles in this price echelon, you will see that it's definitely worth the money. Performance is, again, I want to just talk about this for a second because it just cruises. I mean, you can see here I got the car going here pretty good, and Redline's just a little over 6,000 RPM, but it gets there so quick, and the torque line is so flat. I mean, it just launches you right out of the chute. So love it. Can't say enough about it. Get out and drive one and let me know your feedback. Thanks, guys.